Buying a home in California is very different from buying a home in Tennessee. In today's video, I'm going to give you the top 5 differences that you need to know before buying a home in Tennessee. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know who I am, my name is Brenna and I'm a realtor with SimpliHOM in the Middle Tennessee area. As your relocation specialist, I'm here to answer any questions you may have about living in Tennessee, so be sure to reach out to me. You can find all of my contact information in the description. Now let's jump right into the video. Now let's start with our first key difference, which involves disclosure. In California, when you sell a home, you are required to fill out a disclosure form that covers a wide variety of topics, covering everything from structural information to whether any deaths have occurred on the property in the last 3 years. There's quite an extensive list of things you must disclose before selling a home in California. You also need to make sure things in your home are up to code with California law. In Tennessee, we do have a property condition disclosure form, but the difference here is that you may not see nearly the amount of items on the Tennessee form versus the California form. In the Tennessee property condition disclosure, you will find the property's age and information about appliances, roof, HOA, and general information about the property. In both Tennessee and California, a seller must disclose material defects of which the seller has knowledge of. And in both states, a buyer has every right to sue if a seller concealed a material defect. As a buyer, it is completely up to you to do your due diligence and have a home inspector check out the property before you purchase the home. And the sellers are not obligated to make any repairs to the home before selling it. With that being said, you are able to negotiate repairs if you're not buying the home as is. The key difference to know about disclosures in Tennessee versus California is that you may not find nearly the amount of items on the California disclosure form when looking at the Tennessee forms. My second key difference is that you'll probably be paying a lot less in property taxes. Property taxes are based off of the assessed value of your home. Once you determine your assessed property value, you're going to multiply it by the tax rate to determine your property's tax amount. Since home prices have jumped in California, the amount that Californians have to pay every year in property taxes have also increased. The median California property tax payment is $2,800, with the exact tax rate varying based on location. And on the other hand, the median annual property tax in Tennessee is around $1,200. And Tennessee is among the states with the lowest property taxes. So most likely, you'll be paying less property taxes here in Tennessee versus California. And my third key difference is that you'll probably be paying a lot less for a home here in Tennessee. The median home price in Tennessee is $269,000 and the median home price in California is $745,000. That is quite a difference in price. Both Tennessee's and California's real estate market are very hot right now and have seen a ton of appreciation in the past few years. Many homes in Tennessee are selling anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000 over asking price. Similar to California, there is a major housing shortage here in Tennessee as of right now. Many parts of Tennessee only have a few months' supply of homes on the market. Overall, you will find that housing and cost of living will be much more affordable here in Tennessee when compared to California. My fourth key difference is that California is a dry funding state, whereas Tennessee is a wet funding state. So what is the difference between dry funding and wet funding? A dry closing typically happens when there has been a delay in the financing and funding of the mortgage necessary for the real estate purchase. Essentially, the closing process is allowed to move forward and gives extra time for the closing agent to resolve any issues and gives the lender extra time to collect closing costs. And Tennessee is a wet funding state, which means the sellers must receive funds at the time of closing or within 48 hours of the time of signing. This means in Tennessee, all of the paperwork needed to close the loan must be completed and approved on the closing date. And another difference is that many closings happen at the title company here in Tennessee, which isn't very common in California from what I've heard. My fifth difference is that inspections are different here in Tennessee versus California. The first difference about inspections in Tennessee versus California is that in Tennessee, you are required to have a licensed home inspector to perform a home inspection. In California, home inspectors are not required to obtain a home inspector license. However, they are regulated by a Trade Practice Act. A licensed home inspector must complete a 90-hour course, pass the National Home Inspector exam, and carry liability insurance. In California, none of this is required to become a home inspector. So what does this mean for you as the buyer? It means in Tennessee, you know if a home inspector is hired to look over your home, they have gone through extensive licensing and passed the national exam. Typical inspection report will include a thorough rundown of the ins and outs of your home. This will include things like checking plumbing, foundation, crawl space, appliances, and so much more. With Tennessee inspections, you have the choice to add on any additional inspections, including termite testing and radon. Let me tell you more about what radon is and why it's important to get a radon inspection done. Radon is a toxic gas that comes from the ground and can cause negative health implications if not mitigated. In many parts of Tennessee, we have elevated levels of radon, which means radon testing is super common. Luckily, radon mitigation is very effective at lowering radon levels around your home. So if your radon test comes back high, we can easily solve this through mitigation. If you're moving from California to Tennessee, leave a comment in the comment section down below if anything in this video surprised you. And if you want to know 5 mistakes that Tennessee homebuyers make, then watch my next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.